Meepo is pretty strong right now because there's not, like Winter was saying, there's not many stuns, much less AoE stuns, unless you're picking like Void or something like that.
This is really, anytime you see something like this to me, it's really about, okay, you know what, we're second pick, and when you're second pick, I think often a viable strategy is you're just going to leave a lot of stuff in the pool.
Shadow Demon. Draw.
I mean, in the car on the way here, they said that they would rather pick Shadow Demon, but who knows?
I think they were saying
inside.
How is it not fair?
Inside.
You were in the car next to me, dude.
You guys are rats.
Okay, here's
never
the
gonna
problem.
talk to you ever again.
Here's the problem. He's just asleep all the time, right? So when we're on the way here or we're on the way home, he's just asleep. So, you know, Nahaz was talking to like Mu a little bit and Misery about their drafts and stuff, and we overheard them talking about how they, you know, they obviously prioritize the Shadow Demon here. So.
Just do what Winter does. Pretend you're asleep, hear it all, and then bring it up at the panel, but not that you heard it from the team.
Make it sound like it's all your idea.
Guys, they're definitely probably gonna go for the first pick Shadow Demon. I'm feeling it.
Boom. First pick Shadow.
I mean, at least I'm honest. I didn't like.
Yeah.
I know. I really actually I love that about
I appreciate that.
Like,
just don't expect to talk to DC.
You're like, no, it's not like we're geniuses. We actually heard.
To be fair, Shadow Demon first pick. Even if I didn't hear them say that, it wouldn't have necessarily been a huge shock.
Secret did it to them 3 games in a row last night, and they got wrecked by it. Like it's pretty hard to argue against it. But I like this comeback from Fnatic. I like the Batrider. We saw we employ that in the mid position in the last game last night, where they got off to this huge lead and just couldn't deal with the Alchemist. But again, it's a difficult hero to lane against mid. Of course, generally it's going to be played in the offlane role by Ohio, and we think back to that first series of the day yesterday against Na'Vi. Even though they lost the series, like I think you could make a case for Ohio as the MVP of that series. He played magnificently.
Yeah, he should be the one playing the Batrider.
Absolutely.
This game for them. I know sometimes they switch around with Midon, but I think that it's not so good for their team if they put Midon on a hero that doesn't scale as a carry. He should be playing a hero that can carry the team.
Yeah, and I really like the Dazzle pick here as well, because Dazzle, it's a great option to lock down your safe lane, but it's actually a little bit underrated, I feel, in an aggressive dueling scenario as well. For the same reason, it can just so easily manipulate the lane equilibrium. If you pick a hero like DC, like Drow here as DC, she's going to be forced back under her tower very early on.
It's a pretty good deny pick against the SD plus Dazzle combination, because they rate the combination very high, and it's very good versus the Bat as well.
I just think that when when you see so much of the Drow Shadow Demon, and we were talking about yesterday how playing chaotic Dota can be a really good way at stopping the Drow lineup from really getting off the ground, that opening up Batrider plus Dazzle, because Dazzle is not really like Shadow Demon where you're kind of locked into the fight. The Dazzle still has some mobility, whereas Shadow Demon save is very, okay, you're stuck here for 2.5 seconds, and then if you're not winning that fight by the time the disruption's over, you're still losing it, right? So it's very easy to kind of break up the front line, I think, with a hero like that.
I was like thinking about maybe they would actually do something we saw from Na'Vi yesterday against Drow. You have Chen or Enchantress, but then when they pick Dazzle, it seems very unlikely.
It's hard.
Yeah, very unlikely that they do that, because usually if you want to pick Enchantress or Chen and you be aggressive, you have a support that can actually set up for the creep to come in.
I mean, I would expect something like Earth Spirit instead of like anything that's going to be super defensive.
But I still think you have a lot of options, and that's why I like the Dazzle Batrider Open, is that those two heroes, they can both play in multiple roles. Dazzle, those two heroes right there give you the option to contest the Drow's lane.
It's more like you have a wide array of strategies where you can branch out to with these 2 picks. It provides you with defensive maneuvers, you can be offensive with the Batrider, you can have good lanes depending on what you want to follow up after. I think overall you have to be able to pressure the Drow. You can't just sit and, like all the games I see Drow crush the opponents, they just sit and they don't do anything to the Drow. Drow hits her timing, she gets the Roshan, she gets all your towers, and the game becomes very hard.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the Earth Spirit. I mean, you need a way to get in the Drow's face, but you'll have to have something to set it up. Gust is very good to just blow him right back from whence he came. The issue, I think, with Earth Spirit is like, I know I said I would like it, but at the same time, you want another hero, and you can't pick Darkseer if Ohio's playing Bat, right? So it's kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, a really good Juggernaut pick here, in my opinion, just because you want to be able to. A lot of Drow counters that I see, they get in the Drow's face and they kill the Drow, but then they can't take her tower afterwards. And I think the Juggernaut gives you that option. Anytime you're pressuring the Drow, if you get that kill, you're going to be able to sustain the push. You're going to be able to get in and get on her side of the map. And I think that's really important. You want to get at that tower advantage, and then that Drow just can't do anything.
Yeah. But I think with the Juggernaut pick, though, doesn't it kind of solidify their playstyle as well? Like they already know what they're going to be expecting on the side of DC, and I mean, a lot of the times you see Juggernaut against these Dro strats, and a lot of the time in the early 5-man, Jug's not really that good against high physical damage output, and you can still get soul catchered if you're like spinning in the middle of the team and just get right-clicked to death.
Oh, they're still
They
gonna go
are
for
gonna
the
go
Chen.
Chen.
Yep, the
Okay.
DJ Chen.
I mean,
Beautiful.
it's a weird combination with the Dazzle, but you can't really play so aggressive. But you,
Do you think it's because of the Ogre that they picked Chen?
Yes.
I think it's more of the draw though. Like you want to pressure because I think it's very important that you pressure the draw. Like if draw goes unpunished, and she gets her first item Dragonlance and whatever timing to get Roshan early, then it's very difficult to play.
But I think the Ogre pick is really good here because DC recognized after the Juggernaut that okay, they are going to dedicate a huge amount of resources into pressuring the Drow, and I think a lot of teams when they see that they fall into this defensive trap. They're thinking in terms of well, we need to defend that lane. I actually like the Ogre pick here because it offers them a lot of options to put pressure on other parts of the map, and if you're putting pressure on other parts of the map, forcing them to respond, all of a sudden they can't just focus on pushing your Drow constantly under a tower.
I mean, it's not only that because Ogre is like very very good in the first 5 minutes of the game, and that's where against Fnatic you need to do very well. You can't just let them take control of the early game.
Yeah. So this is most likely going to be a wee Mirana mid. We'll see a safe lane resolution Drow most likely, and Moo's hero probably left for the 5th pick.
That's when we pull out the NA offlane Enchantress. Here we go. Good against the Chen. You get the Bloodlust buff, Drow Ranger aura. That's what I'm talking about.
It's putting a lot of pressure on DJ though, I feel. Like if his rotations don't do anything during the early game and they can at least pressure some lane, it's good. I think they're like instantly behind if that happens. Even with an Ogre on DC, because at least you have like Bloodlust to fall back on for your Drow and your Mirana. I mean, sure, they're not like, the Mirana's not an insane right clicker by any means, but it's still helpful and he offers something. Whereas I think the Chen, you know, you try to 5-man into DC, they're going to push faster than you, so.
Although the one thing I'll say about the DC lineup, generally the successful Shadow Demon games that we've seen this weekend, they have one hero that those disruption illusions just become incredibly painful to deal with. Your Terrorblades, your Alchemists, your Lunas. The Drow and the Mirana, I mean, they're certainly great, both good agi heroes, going to have high base damage for those illusions, but they're not necessarily scary like Alch illusions are.
Alright, well then really what's the move hero here? Are we gonna
like
get a mech candidate,
deep
like a
push?
tech, like a Tide or something? Or
Like
you think
probably
deep push?
maybe
You
they,
can go Timber, there's
You
no
still
lockdown.
could go
yeah,
Timber.
that's still Timber.
Yeah.
Like Timber will provide a lot of good deep push, and
Well, Axe, maybe? Does Moo play Axe ever?
I mean I'm sure he does play the hero, but
I hadn't seen them play it though. Not recently, at least.
I mean, for a different team, this could be a puck game, but I don't think they do that with Moo.
I mean, he would be pretty much impossible to kill, but you could argue the same thing
Okay.
for Timber.
yep, that's
Alright.
still good deep push for them, and more stuns so that they can actually kill heroes. Like their lineup is very good at taking small fights, like 2 heroes running around. Any 2 heroes together can easily kill and gank.
Yeah, I'm really liking DC a bit more than Fnatic here.
The other thing I like about the Sand King is that if Fnatic were thinking about 5th picking the Timber Saw, there's always the possibility of them switching the lane matchups around to get that Sand King against Timber matchup that we saw a couple times yesterday.
I mean, is there in some world where DC think that it's going to be mid-bat, and that Ohio's going to play something else?
Sure. It's on the table, but
It's on the table,
It's
but
on the corner, about to fall off.
I think we is comfortable enough in his Mirana. Like we saw a couple times early in the tournament, we actually saw Sumail lose mid as Mirana to Inflame's Batrider. Like Bat Mirana can be really dangerous mid, but I think we is comfortable enough in his Mirana play, and he's a little bit more conservative than Sumail is. I don't think he's going to get caught out in that matchup.
Well, he does also did he have Drill Aura that game? I don't think he did. It's
No, he
Sumail.
didn't.
Yeah, that's a big difference too.
Oh yeah.
I think they should just build their draft around 5-man. They just focus on 5-manning because you don't want to split up against all these catch. Like
Pugna for sure then. Pugna for sure then.
Pugna
I mean,
Coming
Pugna is great with the Sand King.
The ward would
Mushi's
destroy
asking for
Ogre,
it right now.
destroy Sand King.
Pugna,
It is the pick for sure if
Oh
that's the
my
case.
God.
If you really want a 5-man, that's all. You know, I'm saying if you want to win, but
I mean,
If you want to win, I mean, yeah.
but you know they might play it, you know, dangerous.
It's kind of
Pick
weird
something
because I
else.
think they would have liked Invoker themselves now.
Yes.
So
Oh,
they
for
banned
sure.
it. So
I don't like. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird game for Tinker, but
they need like
do it. Oh, they're gonna win
Yeah,
it
just like
themselves.
push.
Wow.
5-man.
There's the 5-man.
So Jug is
but
going
isn't it
mid.
hard to 5-man against Sand King as well?
I think it is. I think DC.
Maybe
the
they
edge
have
in this
enough
one.
heal actually. They have Chen and Dazzle.
Just need
so.
to buy a pipe, you know?
Yeah, then maybe they have enough sustain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wee's gonna be on the Sand King. Assuming they don't swap.
Well, they probably swapped it because they saw that they picked Luna, so they think Jug mid.
Okay.
And if it's Jug mid, they put the Sand King there.
They want Sand King offlane if it's a melee carry. Then Sand King can actually harass the lane with the caustic. So since it's gonna be a Luna safe lane, they have the option to swap their lanes out.
But there's still some mind games. It's still some lane swap possible. Luna mid is not terrible. All right, Draskell, final thoughts, buddy.
I still think DC have a better draft. I'm gonna go DC.
I would tend to agree with you. I think DC are good. DC know how to execute this strategy. They've lost to it a couple times. I think they're going to take this first one, but I think it's going to be a really interesting game. So with that, let's send it off to our casters. It's going to be Coddle Guy and Winter on the call.
Thank you so much for joining us over here in the caster couch. I'm with my good buddy Winter. I am also feeling pretty confident with the digital cholos on this one. How are you feeling about the matchup in the draft?
Alliance is gonna win.
Alliance is gonna win. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Winter. And we are getting into game number 1 of our first best of 3 for you today for the Star Ladder I-League. And we got 4 best of 3s all day, so we're just getting started of the Dota action here. And what a treat for Fnatic versus DC to be kind of our headliner. So should be a good time. It looks like DC are going to be running together a bit, and they are going to be sticking with Weeha on the Sand King. So they are hoping to kind of, succeed with this audible call and get a proper matchup that they want to.
Right now they're smoking in because they're up against a Chen. So generally teams will want to place deep wards, scout out the Chen early. So you grab up a smoke, you try and run in. If you get a kill, that's great, but otherwise you can just place deep wards.
Yeah, they have pretty good level 1 fight. That's without question.
Yep.
Let's see what they can do.
DC is extremely strong.
Conga line of gank. Oh, they spotted Mushi, but Mushi was already pretty far up above.
It's very, very fast, just like Kotal. 335.
Get in there, Misery, run.
335 move speed.
Where's the wind lace? Oh, the wind lace, but that's an arrow! Missed.
That was not even close.
What are you talking about? From that perspective, it kind of looked like it could have landed if she leapt into it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I'm trying to already build up some
Of course it doesn't matter. It wasn't even close.
Come on, dude. From this angle, the TV's like crooked.
You can have my seat later. I didn't even choose this seat.
It's fine. But going back to talking about, it just goes to show with the early movement like that, with doing these kind of lane changes for both these teams, maybe even more so for DC, the emphasis on succeeding in the laning stage.
I wouldn't say lane changes, but basically they want the Sand King. It's the matchup. They want Sand King versus the melee core. So that's how they want to place their lanes in.
Because they want to win the lanes.
Yeah. Right now, Fnatic, what they want to do is they just get their early game stabilized with the Chen sending creeps obviously mostly to, like in most of the games we see, towards the off lane, so he can help the Bat Rider to get to his blink dagger timing and then get the Chen mech, group up and 5-man and push. That's what they want to do this game. For DC, they want to destroy the early game with their heroes, with their roaming ogre, and try to get pickups here and there, because their heroes are very good at setting up kills. Like 2 heroes can kill anyone. Like there's so much kill potential between any 2 heroes on DC side.
And it's already a pretty damn good start for DC, as we saw before that, able to take down that mid lane courier, and Misery went right to work on being a real pain in the ass for this Chen. So he's doing his ogre job in top lane. They might be able to get some first blood action here. They get the disruption for Ohio. He is desperate and trying to fly away, but he can't make it out. He's going to be going down, and Resolution is going to be picking up the first blood of our first match of day 3.
This ogre slow has, like I can see DC actually using the ogre. Like in the past, people would just pick Earth Spirit, but since the slow has been nerfed so much, right now, ogre is new replacement. You must not be too happy about that.
The slow was nerfed? I don't know if the slow was nerfed.
Yeah.
It's hard to land.
No, the boulder slow duration was reduced.
Oh really?
Yeah. I thought you were Earth Spirit.
Yeah, but once they killed him the first 3 times, I was like, you know what? He's dead. But
you're not a legit fan of Earth Spirit.
I am.
If you're a fan, you never give up on the hero.
I never gave up on Coddle. Top lane. Okay, it looked like we have a bit of a scuttle, but no. Back at mid lane. Let's see how the CS game is going. We do have a scuttle. Back at top lane we go. Disruption laid out for Ohio, but that actually seems to be the end of it.
He went for an early flame break.
Okay, Misery shows up again. This time they have DJ nearby, but is that going to be enough to fend off the power of DC? I don't think so. Resolution's moving in. He's got the ice arrows, and boom, he gets the last hit. And that's going to secure the second kill now for DC, looking to really pump up the jams here in the top lane. It looks like they will all end up losing Saksa, though. Oh, self-disruption. Could hold it out for a bit, but they got the tomato creep, scratch him on the back. He's going to be going down, but vengeance for DC here as they move in to get DJ. They will beat that one as well. Misery picks up another kill. His Ogre. Lots of mileage here in the early game.
Yeah, especially in all these early exchanges, Ogre is like very difficult to contest because of the armor you have, the HP regen you have. I think overall, we saw a similar thing happen yesterday with Navi but the difference is they had the Sand King on their side with the Chen instead of Bat Rider with Chen. And DC, I mean, they were playing against EG. EG had a much weaker carry, which is the Terrorblade. So they could abuse the lane much more. With a Drow, it's much more difficult for them to abuse the lane. But you can see what the idea is behind the Chen helping the offlaner. You want to get the Bat Rider, which is your main tempo control, a much early blink.
But how much on your Chen do you help out the lane, and then how much time do you need to kind of just take them over to step back and think about yourself?
Yeah, I know, I understand. Because the general idea is you need to hit the max plus your levels on Chen. With the blink on the bat, you have to synchronize everything. So you hit that timing, you have Eclipse, and everyone group up and push. So you can't really just help the Bat Rider, you know, you have to focus on yourself at some point.
Yeah.
You have to decide, oh, maybe after 4 to 5 minutes, I don't think I can go to the lane and do anything anymore. I have to focus on getting my own levels, I get my mech, and I help my team.
It feels like a lot of pressure when you need to sync up so much together. Like those 3 different heroes, you need to make sure they're all online. I don't want to say it turns into a bit of a dice roll, but that means even more pressure for Fnatic that everyone, you know, meets their quota.
I mean, I get what you're saying. At some point, you have to choose which one you think is more important, and when you... Nothing is perfect. Obviously, if you have both happening for you,
is perfect.
It's great, but you have to choose at some point right now. Since the early game is not going as planned, they have to sacrifice either the Bat's dagger timing, or you have to sacrifice the Chen's mech and Hand of God timing.
And we saw a bit of harassment bottom lane.
This Ogre is doing so much work.
Yeah,
for
Misery is just really all over the place. I get what you mean before about how he could be the one to like kind of replace Earth Spirit. I felt like, you know, Ogre's shortcomings are he is very damn slow. He's like, oh, I'm coming. Whereas Earth Spirit would have been there right away with the rolling boulder and started things off.
You got a Windlace.
But yeah, you got Windlace, you got the value point Bloodlust as Misery is showing us here. He can travel pretty damn fast.
I mean, the other problem is that the range of the stun, you know, that's after the nerf on the stun, the range, people stop picking him. That's also another problem the hero has.
But then they brought in Aether Lens for everybody.
Yeah,
and said,
but you have
it's okay.
You have to buy the item first.
It's not that expensive, and arcanes are kind of what Ogre usually goes for anyway.
Ogre doesn't farm well.
Oh, he farms heroes well.
If you try,
if you go well, if things go well, he can farm up some heroes. We'll see if Misery will meet a good time on an Aether Lens if he decides to go one or not. Mid lane, casual Blade Fury harassment to bully Wee back a bit. We check on their CS. Wee's at 29 and 6 to mid ones, 23 and 4. Meanwhile, Misery runs into DJ and he's claps his way out via TP. What are you gonna do about it?
Clap his way out. He TP'd to mid lane. He doesn't even go back to base. He's like, I still want more.
Yeah. Well, he's big and his regen is ridiculous for the hero, so put that together, he's going to be... That's the thing, though. It's also a bit of a mind game. They might just assume he bailed all the way back to base, and he's going to be ready for a gank on the 6-minute rune here, but I don't think anyone's taking a bite.
He's going to leave it for the Sand King, I presume. It's not the greatest rune, but still a rune to refill the bottle, and Fnatic...
Well, they almost lost their courier to Mu, apparently.
Yeah, Fnatic right now are still really passive. They are looking to get all their important items and levels. It's very difficult for them to make a move. I could see maybe they get a kill if Juggernaut runs around, finds a lone support, Omni Slash, get a kill. But apart from that, it's very difficult for Fnatic to make any moves right now. They have to wait for the blink and the mech and all the creeps from Chen.
It's just going to be a bit of a stall for them.
Maybe they can react, like Luna has Eclipse, so Luna grab a TP. If anything happens to the Bat Rider, TP to the lane.
Yeah, and hit that R button. Misery hiding in the dark here behind, but Ohio is definitely feeling like something's a bit fishy. The second he sees a presence, he goes right into flight.
That was very good awareness by him.
Yeah.
The moment he saw SD running forward, he's like,
nah,
wait a minute.
Nah, Psalm ain't right. That guy isn't running to the tower. He's got friends nearby. Yeah, good heads up there from Ohio. We'll avoid the trouble.
And he's doing a good job pulling the creep away from the tower, stopping DC.
Oh, we have a gank coming in top lane. You're talking about the Luna getting in the action. It's suddenly a wild Mushi coming in from behind. They do coax DC into coming into the tower and trying to make a gank happen. They might be able to get Ohio, they will, but will they make it out with their lives? There goes the Omni Slash from Mushi, and they're going to be able to spin down Little Lady Drow. It turns into a 1-for-1 trade, but a good response play from Fnatic. Do you think that was worth the rotation power? getting everyone
it
in?
was okay because they got the draw. They got a better trade, but they had to expend 2 of their big cooldowns, the Omni Slash plus the Eclipse. So DC right now, once they have the draw respawn, they can maybe just go back to sieging the tower because the big spells are all down. And you know that there's no blink on the Bat Rider yet, so there's no way they can defend.
Yeah. Okay, we mid lane. Burrow strike 2.
I expect them to make a move now, either by smoking, trying to go towards the safe lane of Fnatic, or try to get a tower elsewhere.
Yeah. I mean,
they need to use this timing well.
Yeah, they're not too far off from Wee's Blink Dagger. I don't know if that's enough incentive for them to wait, but that might be a bit too long. We'll have to see.
How close is he?
He's like 1700 on his Sand King, I believe, so I don't think our ops can hear us, so. But yeah, he's about 17. Oh, there it is. Yeah, 1700 or so.
He hurt us, Dakota.
That's
Come
alright,
on.
I didn't say anything bad.
Okay, so right now,
oh, double band of
DC, after the 2 ultimates being expanded by Fnatic, right back towards the towers, realizing cooldowns are down, so it's time to take advantage of that. We are gonna run into the Chen.
Oh my goodness, that
the
heal,
burst.
that burned right there. They bursted him down.
That's a very, very good trap set down by Fnatic right there on the high ground. So DC are gonna be successful in claiming the tier 1 at bottom lane, and Fnatic is going to have their big cooldowns up soon, so they are starting to group up again. 40 seconds before they have Eclipse.
That's not too soon. 40 seconds.
40 seconds is...
Not soon. Here we go, mid lane. DC do make their presence here to not allow Fnatic to sweep through an easy tower as they're trying to kind of ramp up the pace of this game. And it looks like Wee has made his return. DC begin to advance forward. Mushi, that was an illusion, is going to, or sorry, he was sent back to base. This is going to be a confusing game. Mirana and her fancy cosmetics and Luna and her cosmetics, it looks like there's 2 Lunas or 2 Miranas in the game.
That's why you need glasses, Dakota.
No, that's why they don't need to make these crazy sets where 2 heroes look the same.
They don't look the same.
Are you? Okay.
No, they don't.
Well, yeah, by attack animation you would know, but walking about, Weehaw, woo, shockwaves flying, but he's avoiding them.
You're just getting old.
I'm not getting old. I'm sure there's people out there who
You
agree.
played an old hero, Kotl. You're old.
That just hurt. Top lane, Fnatic, they're creeping about right now, but not too much more advanced. How are we feeling about this Jug? Still sporting just the phase here. He's, you know, not crazy high in the net worth right now.
I expect him to go for an early fighting build, like get a Yasha instead of a Battle Fury this game.
Yeah.
They want to group out and fight very early. Maybe someone gets a drums as well. Bat Rider's probably getting a blink, so I don't think he's getting the drums. But yeah, I think overall, the general plan is to hit an early timing, you group up and you push. It's best that they do it before they have to deal with the blink epicenter.
Okay, we have a blink.
He already has the blink, so
it's time for DC. They were playing things a little.
They have the Hand of God plus max soon, so that will be able to offset the epicenter damage.
Unless it happens sooner than later. Ohio flirting around the backside of this tower, goes for the Valley TP, and they don't have the mana to disrupt. They can't cancel it. Ohio makes it back to the fountain safely. Bit of a swing and a miss right there for DC, but they will probably continue their advancement in the top lane to secure a tier 1. While Weehaw continues to hang in the back lines and looks to make a setup play with this blink, but it actually looks like Fnatic are gonna do some moves themselves.
Do they have vision of the blink on the Sand King? Because if they know that the Sand King has blink, they might not be so aggressive. Where is the Sand? Oh, Sand King's mid. They see the blink. So they know, but they're still trying to make a move here. They see Misery running into the river.
He's a big boy. He'll take a little bit of muscle power to bring down. Can they do it fast enough before Wee shows up and the rest of the team? Okay, good. Blade Fury to avoid any sort of stun from Misery, and they will be able to slice him apart. It looks like DC just kind of accepted the fact that they're going to lose their Ogre.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, they'll let him tank the gank, if you will.
He's meant to tank the gank.
Look at Mushi, though. Cheeky play. Maybe he's trying to go for a snipe on the Eclipse right there. Arrow will fly behind. 343 is doing the Matrix right here as he dodges every projectile from up and above. But he's fine. It's a very tense moment for both teams, but none of them are really looking to pull the trigger yet.
And this Bat Rider is quite under farm. Still hasn't got his blink yet, so it's very, very far away.
There's no like stat game really happening for Fnatic right now, so there's no like.
I mean, this is the issue when you have Chen plus Bat Rider on the same team. You have two heroes that want to use the jungle, so someone has to pay the price.
And since the Chen like moved around so much in the early game, he had to probably spend extra time in the jungle, extra time grinding and making up for not having, you know, a potential mech in due time. So that means the Bat Rider has to wait.
We might not see a lasso anytime soon. Like Bat Rider is probably.
Oh, you're gonna jinx it. He's gonna find a lasso.
He has no lasso.
The old-fashioned way. Oh, he has no lasso at all. That's what you mean. We will see an Omni though, fly through and be able to do the job that the Bat Rider couldn't fulfill.
You know, there's no point taking a point in lasso if you don't have a blink against those heroes. Everyone has a stun. You're not gonna run up and get a lasso. Unlikely.
You have to believe. You fly in from the dark.
Yeah, like how you believe.
I've seen plenty of Bat Riders get big lasso plays without blink.
Oh wait, Roshan is dead.
And while that was happening, Drow did Drow things and took down Roche, so...
He has a Hurricane Pike, by the way. I'm not sure if you're a big fan of that item, but I think it's a pretty good item on Drow.
Why would I not be a fan? That sounds like an amazing item for Drow.
Because you don't play Drow?
Drow, you know what she doesn't have, and she lacks a bit in the mobility department, which, hey, Hurricane Pike happens to be a Force Staff as well, and the safer she can be, but be able to contribute a lot of that damage, I think that's wonderful.
That's a good explanation why that item is good on Drow. Well done, Dakota.
Thank you.
Well done.
Here's $2. But top lane?
Let me ask you a question. Are you ever gonna get Hurricane Pike on Kotal?
No. What is wrong with you? That's even worse than getting Aether Lens on Kotal. Maybe not. I mean, Force Staff is kind of part of the thing, and you can force mana leak people, and does create space between you and the opponent, so maybe it's not too terrible. Anyways, top lane, Disruption, Soul Catcher, Saksa has to reposition, step back. Ohio says, nah, TP's away. Misery will not have the stun available, so he will make it out. Who is this benefiting more that we've turned into kind of this, you know, pause, this kind of
both teams kind of missed their windows. Like
they're playing catch up now.
Yeah, Fnatic wanted to group up earlier, but then they wanted to do everything before the Sand King has Blink. But once they saw the Sand King with Blink, then they're like, oh, crap, it's very risky for us to do that, and we don't have Blink on Bat.
Both teams are definitely in tune to each other on where they want to make something happen, because you'll see like movements for ganks, and the other team is like,
They are very
know.
wary about the timings of the enemy team. They understand, oh, right now Fnatic is not strong. That's what happened in the early first 10 minutes where DC are trying to look for stuff. But right now we see Ohio struggling to get his blink, and he's gonna get ganked here.
Dang, he had to walk into more arrows from Resolution. It's gonna force out the grave. There's gonna be the burrow. This could be our first hot fight of the game so far. Misery being the backliner, looking to muscle down those supports in the backhand side. But meanwhile, Weehaw, under huge pressure, was able to make it back and away into a safe distance, it looks like. Man, no one dead yet.
They can't chase.
No one dead.
They can't chase if they don't kill the Sand King, because Sand King can come in after he gets his blink off cooldown again. So you can understand why Fnatic were being really cautious there, not overextending too much. They have to wait for their mech, maybe pipe at some point. It's difficult for them to get the pipe, but they have the mech now. So that's gonna help them deal with the epicenter.
Oh yeah, for sure. Epi comes in, you fire out every heal you have in the book.
Yeah, I still think they need, if they can get a pipe at some point, it would be really good for their overall strat.
Yeah, it does require a bit, and then eventually you have to hand some farm over to your bat.
Their cores are not good.
They have to, yeah. I mean, it'd be nice for the Chen to be able to, you know, get some farm to be more utility, but the cores need love too, winner. They need a place to farm safely. So Chen might have to just kind of wait.
You say they need a place to farm safely, but it's very difficult for them to farm outside of the map when you're up against all these kind of heroes that can kill you with, like, they don't need too many people to gank you. Like, 2 heroes can kill you, and Sand King has Blink, early Blink. So it's very difficult for you to farm outside of the base.
Yeah. How's their ward situation then? Do they not have enough wards to be able to safely see?
Yeah,
but I saw some nice wards from DC, so yeah, it does make it scary.
Apart from Juggernaut, like everyone else is very worried about trying to farm too far up the map, you know? Like he's the only one that can spin and escape. Everyone else is very vulnerable to that.
Yeah.
Getting deep wards is easier if you're sort of controlling the game, but when you're not controlling the game, it's difficult. Moo there, getting spot out.
It looks like there'll be a lasso pull. Moose trying to find a way to leap to the low ground. We'll make it away.
Oh, no mana.
Ohio is in there, but yeah, one little Starstorm is not going to be enough to stop the bat.
He's gonna get his blink.
for sure. Meanwhile, on the bottom
Epicenter.
end, Gust, Disruption, there's the Epi, and it is going to get the finish on for Chen. 343, almost going to be going down. He does get the Grave off, barely lives. They turn back around, and, well, they're going to be losing more, it looks like. Omni Slash to fly on out. Resolution moves forward to get a double kill, but now he's in a bit of trouble. There's a nice force that gets him away to safety, but not far enough for the Blade Fury. Will be able to slash down that Aegis. Now they look for the turnaround play. Misery's going to be with the stun. There's going to be the Burrow Strike stun, and he just is going to be kited from between 3 to 4 heroes right there. Zakza very low, is able to etch away from trouble, and Ohio could be going down. He just got that Blink Dagger, and it looks like he might be able to fly his way. No, he will not. He's dead. He's gone now.
Excellent kiting there by the Sand King positioning.
Yeah.
Every time he Burrow Strikes, he hides, waits for his next Burrow Strike. Yeah, that's how you want to play Sand King. It's very hard to catch you, and you're just like being that pesky hero that runs around to control the enemy.
Yeah, Weehum, MVP of that fight for sure. 3 different moments it felt like he was on the verge of just dying, but he found a way out, and then he would still have the guff to come back in with another Burrow Strike to set up something else for his team. So,
Aether Lens.
Wonderful play by them, and now he has an Aether Lens, so he has even more room to jump in and out of these fights. He's seriously being the Muhammad Ali of all these Dota battles.
Yeah, it's getting very worrisome for Fnatic. They're getting outmaneuvered. They do not want to fight in all these like very scrappy fights where there's 2 heroes here, 2 heroes there. They want to group up 5 heroes sitting in the right place together and initiate. All these random chaotic fights are always favoring DC.
And you can see some of the rewards they get from that skirmish. You see Misery.
Are they close to BKBs on Luna?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Luna.
Ogre. She's got an Ogre club.
Okay, he has the BKB. Okay, good.
Alright.
That's really important for him.
Uh-oh. Moo, scouting out the Fnatic territory here. Will get spotted by a couple of heroes, but he will make it away with his life.
They should group up and fight right now. Group up and just push towers.
Who should? DC?
Fnatic, with the BKB on the Luna. They have to try and seize control of the map. They have a Chen lineup. They should be pushing and getting objectives.
Yeah, this is go time for him. It looks like they did smoke up. They did it without Mushi. He's going to be left in the bottom lane. They're going up and around here. It looks like they might be able to get the catch. There is a blink and a lasso pull up. They grab Toxa. Can they take the Shadow Demon down? They bump him back, Moonlight Shadow, but it's going to be too late to save him. But for the rest of the team, they can now hide under a bit of cover here if they want to re-engage. Misery and Wee look to move on forward, and Fnatic actually pull off. They have the ults.
Just get up the epicenter.
Yeah. Do they not have the heals ready as a response play? I guess it's just still a bit too...
Yeah, but they're still worried of getting caught in a very like choke area that he gets a 3-man like power strike after the epicenter. Then it would be really bad for you, even if you have all those heals ready from the Chen. So they're taking every fight extremely cautiously, not to overextend.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, the most important thing is the Bat Rider. He has to always make sure after the lasso. In the last fight, I'm not sure if you noticed, after he blinked lasso the Shadow Demon, he was running towards the right side because he was trying to scout the position of the Sand King. It seemed good at first because when he lassoed SD, he was dragging SD away from his team. But he was actually trying to scout out Weeha, where is the Sand King? It's very, very important for them to know his position. So that was very, very good play from Bat Rider right there.
And Fnatic had been hanging around this bottom lane to wait for something to open up, but it's actually DC who eventually roll on forward here with the smoke.
Did they not see the Chen?
But yeah, they stun the bird, not the Chen, so the Chen's able to kind of weasel his way out, but they are going to be able to get the grab on the Dazzle, and Chen not going to be able to make it away. They get it with the Disruption, and this means your support team
I guess that was all part of the plan. You kill the creeps first.
Yeah, more money. Yeah, that was funny.
So Drow right now with the Maelstrom follow-up will allow her to push waves much faster and get an Aghanim at some point as well to kill. It's very good at clearing out the Chen creeps. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, they felt a bat presence. Ohio was able to make a step away though.
And you look right now, Fnatic being forced to split up because it's very difficult for them to fight anymore.
They have the hood on Chen, they got the Manta on Jug.
Oh, they have the hood on Chen already?
Yeah, they have the hood on Chen. And the mid one is doing what he can to kind of split the pressure across the map.
It's very important for them to hit the pipe timing, if possible, before they fight. The pipe would just be so good for them against what DC have.
Yeah, maybe they can get the pipe and they can take a big fight just before the Roche does come up. Sweep in, get the Roche, and take back the lead.
He's gonna get it a pretty good timing though. Like I kind of did not expect Chen to actually have this much farm.
Yeah, he's been kind of hanging in that jungle down there.
I mean, like you say, he's taking a lot of farm, but at the expense of the bat. The bat is pretty poor considering everything. I mean, that's the sacrifice you make when you have a bat plus Chen, 2 heroes that need the jungle.
Yeah. Well, they obviously find more value in making sure they secure the pipe than getting that like a, force staff on the side. They already got him for his blink and his lasso, so they might feel like that's more than enough for him. Luna, who still holds her BKB, is going for the Yasha next. It looks like Ogre has been kidnapped and pulled right back. That's 2 ultis for the support.
Not the biggest loss again, but I guess Fnatic is just waiting for like the other items to come online, the force staff, the pipe. Because otherwise, usually I would say that using your big spells just to kill.
We're gonna see a bit of an outplay here.
Yes, Sandstorm is fine.
Alright. No, suddenly Chen Army shows up and Wee is like, that's okay, I'm good. Burrow strikes out. A lot of tension here, man. Fnatic just trying to really draw the attention from DC away from what they want to do. Until, I guess, Fnatic feel like they're ready to make their own 5-man happen. And start moving and dictating more of the pace of this game. But it looks like DC are going to be the first to do so. Bottom lane, maybe an easy tier 2. Yep. They'll take that casual grab and pull off.
Yeah, Fnatic is just still not ready yet to fight head on. They have to wait for the pipe. At some point, I think this game, you need the 4-star plus BKB on the bat. The bat needs these 3 items to be extremely comfortable in the team fights. There's just way too much control on DC's side. It's very easy for them to mess up the bat's initiation.
And who's his prime target? Like, who's the bat hoping to get?
I would say either the SD or the Sand King. Those 2 heroes are probably the most important heroes you want to catch as the bat this game. I mean, it really depends on the situation, because if someone like the Drow is super out of position, obviously you grab her.
Yeah, of course.
But grabbing SD is because you don't want him to save the target you're lassoing. That's why you want to try your best to focus the SD. And Sand King is obviously their main team fight initiator.
Yeah, the concern is though, is while Fnatic do continue to wait, these cores on DC will begin to hit harder and harder. We're seeing the items come together for resolution, and even Moo could become a right-clicking core
I mean, I understand that point, but at the same time, if you look at Fnatic's overall lineup, Juggernaut plus Luna, they're very scary late game as well. So
that's true.
Don't have to
they
worry.
Both have good late game, but
it will come down to map control, vision, initiation, whether the Sand King gets a jump or the Batrider gets the better initiation. Things like this will come to really important matter when the game draws out.
And Mid-One's continuing more of that fighting build up now as he segues from the Manta into a defusal. Looks like they've caught a Misery.
Bring up the clip.
Yeah, get up on that pedestal there. Ohio will eat the stun from 2 different targets. There's a multicast, there's a Gust. He's eating a lot of damage here between 3. 343 steps in, gets off the casual grave, tries to TP away, but it gets canceled. Both TPs are going to get canceled. Ohio goes down. That was an attempt from Fnatic to try to get a pickoff play, an easy one on Misery, but it was never easy.
They were trying to kill an Ogre with no vision, with only 2 heroes, and Ogre's so tanky there.
And they didn't get much by forcing the whole team up to the top lane. It's not like they were taking the rush. They were just farming.
I guess they thought that they could have actually got away with it, but there was no vision though, so it was so dangerous there.
And it was the bat by himself, kind of too. So I don't think they had nearly enough DPS to be able to get that job done quick.
That was a very strange move there.
I guess sometimes you come across a target like that and you can't help yourself. Big tasty Ogre, but here we go. Resolution now beginning to knock down this tier 2 in the top lane. DC, showing their pressure here, while the Batrider was on the sidelines, not having to worry about that blink lasso play. Now, here comes Mushi, makes his presence back in the lane, and DC are just waiting till they get the right fight. They will try to go for the, that was the offensive disruption, and it looked like Mushi was like, oh, I'll try to take advantage of that in some way. Okay, Ohio's back, gets the lasso, the better target here, and Saksa, the arrow is going to fly, but it's not going to stop him from getting the pick off, and now DC have to withdraw. Under the Moonlight Shadow. Or do they?
They're thinking about going back in. They have the Aegis still.
I don't know. Looks like they'll have to be forced to wait. Okay, pipe is now done though for the Ched. Big items coming here. This is Fnatic. This is it. This is your stride. This is your moment.
They finished the diffusal. They finished the pipe. Luna has his Manta.
It does not get much better than this time here.
I mean, the only thing missing is the BKB on the bat, but I guess he's not gonna get it anytime soon anyway, so they're gonna choose to fight.
Yep. Take this and really get yourself back in the game. I mean, the game isn't really out of their hands either, so it feels actually pretty neck and neck at this point.
They need a lot of sentries as well because of the Moonlight Shadow and the Sand King.
Here's DC though. They make their approach towards the top lane. Fnatic pretty much mostly present with the exception of the Jug, who's still farming the Ancient, so not even Fnatic all in attendance here.
That was interesting. He had no lasso there.
Yeah, he went in, but yeah, he did not have the lasso yet, still in 4 seconds. Mushi says, I'm ready to game and fight, moves on in with the Eclipse, looking to burst down, does get that first life of Resolution, looks for the follow-up to take down Soxguys, but he's not going to be able to get it. There is going to be the Elusive Beam, and they should be able to bring him down. That's the first notch. 2 notches altogether coming the way of Fnatic. But 343 is going to sidestep, avoid Resolution, but Midwan hits with the burrow. He's a little late to this party, but he tries to make his presence. There's going to be the Omni Slash. They are going to get the slash down and the takedown of Resolution. The lasso's finally here, and it's the pullback for Wii. It's Fnatic really opening things up now as they take down 4. A double kill finishes things off for Mid-1. Game even as far as kills, but Fnatic got their timing.
MVP Mushi with the Eclipse, they're dealing so much damage there, and once again, Fnatic understand their timings. They got the pipe, they got the diffusal. They got everything they need on the other 4 heroes, so they are really, really strong there. They took a very good fight, and Sanking was not able to dish out a lot of damage because of the pipe.
It felt like, you know, that wasn't the fight that Fnatic intended on taking. I mean, with Jug where he was out of position, it just kind of, with the way the bat initiated, it was kind of like, it just kind of fell into place for Fnatic right there.
It's sort of like, oh crap, I actually don't have that. So he blinked in and it was like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Cooldown.
It was a bit of a hot mess, but it definitely worked out for Fnatic, but not at this point. It looks like Ohio will be taking down the mid lane, and Mushi now could be under the gun here. Misery, they surround him. Glaives, though, flying all over the freaking place here from Mushi makes things pretty damn difficult for your support staff. Then Mid-1's going to be able to come in, just slashes down Mitska, and they're going to be slowing down Misery. They spin, and they'll get him. Okay, Fnatic really opening things up
and
now.
Last 2 minutes of the game has been very, very impressive by Fnatic. Their decision making, their execution, apart from the bat blinking in without lasso, everything else was perfect.
Yeah. Well, this is working wonderfully right now. So do you think then, is it DC not recognizing that Fnatic were waiting for that kind of timing and they should have been pressuring sooner?
I don't think they saw the pipe and the diffusal on the Jug, so they maybe thought that they were stronger at that point. Because before that, it was all about DC was stronger, and they were trying to look for fights. Fnatic were trying to dodge away, waiting for their timing. So maybe they just did not know of those items newly acquired on those 2 heroes. But overall, they know now, so they have to take their fights much better. They have to initiate cleaner. Because the last 2 fights, it was all Fnatic initiating. Batrider gets the jump, and they pop their BKB on Luna, Eclipse, and they just kill heroes in front.
Now you have to look the way of DC. Like, how do they get themselves out of this jam?
Draw out the game, and because as you draw out the game, the disruption from SD becomes very, very strong. So that's your...
You're hoping to use Fnatic's cores against them?
Yeah.
You get the Luna, it's a really nice grab.
Luna is gonna kill his own team
that's
in the face.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if that's what you really want to fall back on as plan.
The other issue is like the Mirana hasn't been doing a lot for them. Like she hasn't she hasn't been landing any key arrows for them to initiate fights or doing enough damage because there's now pipe on.
I mean, she has her Ags, so now she could farm her way into being super relevant as a core.
But that's gonna take another maybe
But it's gonna take time. I mean,
10
even
minutes.
Misery, I thought he was holding some stuff in his stash, but no, it looks like he's just
do they have sentries?
getting a Yules.
Where's the sentry?
They have a dust. DJ pops it. Weed goes out. Looks like we already have a target for Ohio. He gets the pullback, grabs Moo. Moo's going to be able to leap away, and the epicenter is going to be the trade as Weeha does commit in. But meanwhile, Mid-1's going to be able to get the Blade Fury and does finish off Moo, who's going to be the first corpse of this game. And now it's going to be Misery going down as the follow-up to this fight. Mid-1 getting hit. Resolution begins to unload. The Grave's going to be there, and he realizes he has to get the hell out with the positioning he's in. Meanwhile, we see on the right-hand side, your Shadow Demon going to get blasted by Mushi. Flame Break cancel, and it's going to be another huge fight for Fnatic as they take down 4. They move in the Rose Period like, let's do it, but they realize that the timing's not there.
That dust from the Chen was like, did he see anything? There's no wards? There's no sentries on the ground, right?
Backban for sure.
He just dusted, there was no sentries on the ground.
He's like, something smells. Dust! All of a sudden, a wild DC team appears.
I see a sentry further away. Maybe they saw it earlier. There's a sentry further down the lane.
A brief glimpse of someone moving. And
I was like, what? That dust was so random but accurate. But you can see once Fnatic get all their key items, it's very, very difficult for DC to take a team fight. So right now, DC has to go for their plan B. Draw out the game. Hopefully Drow gets a lot more items than the Mirana.
Yeah, but we were talking about before, it's Fnatic don't have a A Jug, and they have a Jug and a Luna. Not the best thing you want to try to risk going against the late game with, but this is plan B.
If you're losing the team fights now, there's no
yeah.
point for you to keep continuously banging your head onto the wall. You have to go to plan B.
Yeah, put a helmet on.
I'm sure that's the plan, Dakota. Put a helmet on.
Yeah.
Get a helm of Iron Will.
There you go. Way to bring it back to Dota. We got a couple more seconds before we might see the potential timer of the Roche here, and it looks like, it feels like obviously Fnatic would love to play things a bit more safe.
The dream rune for Luna. More farm, Dakota.
More
illusions.
farm. He's got a butterfly now.
You know how do you
don't
deal
have
with
them
illusions? You
What?
get Coddle, Illuminate,
Yeah.
Blinding Light. You can't wait to see that hero, yeah?
Well, I mean, he's great. He's good. He
He's
got
fun.
crushed yesterday.
It's fun to watch, though.
Really?
Isn't it fun? Mana Leak, you torture the enemy.
Yeah, the way he tortures in the laning phase is fun. That's like the first 4 minutes. Then it's not fun. Then
No,
it's
that's not
repetitive.
true. That's not true when your BKB is down to 5 seconds.
All right, fair enough. There's a few strides. I would not say he's an exciting hero to watch though. Please, winner, please. DC smoked, moving in, looking to kind of get the reapproach, and this time they will be able to spot out DJ. No crazy, dust pops for you, but they got the grade to keep him alive in the meantime. Ohio is going to get the lasso pull back on the weed. They're going to be able to blow him up with the help of the Eclipse. He goes down. They take down 2, including Misery here. Saksa trying to desperately make it away in the back of a TP, but they cancel it with the Luna Beam, and, well, that means it's going to be 3. Can they get more? Moo will be able to blink away to safety. Goes to the TP. Flame Break was almost there, but...
Close enough.
Close
Nice
enough.
Try.
That was
try.
a nice try. Nice try.
Good effort. Good effort, Dakota.
Good effort, Ohio. But buybacks come out. DC on the verge.
Where's
of
that
losing.
SD disruption on the Luna?
Game number 1 in a bit of trouble. SD buys back now. Can he get in there and get off a good disruption play? Moo jumps in, valiantly dishes out a Starstorm to hope to slow things down from the Fnatic push, but it's not enough to stop him. Those glaives are flying out in full force. Look at him go. Flies right through the base. 1 Rax goes down, arrow flies, Moo jumps in, connection from DJ, but he's the one that's going to get shot. Big Lucid Beam. Nice connection there from Fnatic. They're going to potentially be on their way to victory land here. But they will be muscled out from the base. They get the burst, DJ goes down. DC saying, you're not going to take our Rax and get away alive. Mid 1 though, nice force. Puts him into his safety, gets the Manta off, and he is running away, but he gets connected with 1 little ice arrow. Blade Fury is going to be the follow-up. Ohio says, I'll take the action. He goes down. Mid 1.
And you do this
He's
all these
almost gone.
random Coddle sound impressions.
What? I'm trying to make it more interesting. Fine, you know what?
And
Fine.
you say the
Here
hero
goes
is-
Mid 1. He's running into the jungle. He has made it out. Oh no, he goes back in. And that's the end of it. Oh no! He ate a burrow. Fights.
Okay, yeah, I get your
Sandstorm.
point. I'm sorry, dude. I get your point.
Blade Fury. Blink. Weeha says no, it's not that easy. These guys are just not going to let each other make it away. Oh, finally, outside interferences. 343 shows up and he helps finish things off. Mid 1 gets the last laugh. What a long pursuit. I think DC might know that they're in a bit of trouble here.
Satanic.
Satanic.
Time to end the game.
Can you not do these silly voices in our cast, please?
Sorry.
And it's time for Fnatic to move into the Roche pit now. With DD in hand, this should take no time at all for Fnatic to be able to grab this Aegis and have a more secured extra life for that final hurrah of a push, if they have any say.
I mean, they're just using their timing windows and their lineup very well. Apart from the early game disastrous laning phase for the Bat Rider, everything else was spot on for Fnatic. Everyone understood what they needed to do, what
Yeah.
items they needed to get, the timings, when they get the items, how strong they are.
The trend of this tournament, at least it was on the first day or two, was teams going for those timings and then being unsuccessful in some way. This is like one of the first times that we were like, okay, Fnatic need to get their pipe, they need to get their defusal, and they need to make it count, and they actually did. It actually worked out well. I felt like when we saw the Fnatic Navi series at the start, both teams were like, okay, we got this Drownland, we got this push, we got the Roche, we just need to push and make it happen, but, they didn't push, and the game went sour. This time Fnatic got what they needed, and they got the job done.
Yep, apart from the early hiccups in the lane for the Bat, everything else was spot on from them.
So it's now seeing if DC can do something elaborate here, as we see a hefty 15k network. They have to do something,
It's very difficult.
Flank smoke play.
I think they have to maybe try and use SD, disrupt one of the draw, send an illusion up, hope the Batrider lassos that illusion, and then they waste the lasso. You try to counter initiate, get a big epi off.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, it sounds like something out of Ocean's like 11 or something, to be honest. It's like he's going to have to do this and make his way through the lasers and get lassoed up and pulled away. And hope to God that this is big deterrent. And he's not going to want to die, though, and he's going to have to self-disrupt. The arrow flies, but mid one is not having any of that. He's already in Blade Fury. And unfortunately, the first swing of DC is not going to go so well, but they could get a follow-up kill here as mid one's trying to creep his way out, but they're not going to be able to stop him. Fnatic go able to fend off. Mushi says, what was that? Was that an epi? No, sir. Nothing at all. Pops the BKB, runs on in with the Eclipse, and DC are soon to be decimated here. Misery goes down. Resolution very low. He gets dropped. It sucks at the same moment. Also going to be going down. Mushi on a tear. Mushi with a double, and Mushi with the win. Fnatic claim game number 1 of this best of 3.
I mean, Mushi played really well, but at the same time, it's like, if you ask me for MVP for this team, the whole team played the strategy.
Oh, yeah.
And Pipe was the most crucial item of the game for Fnatic.
That was very, very nice. That made the Epi feel totally irrelevant. That means that the Ogre can't get a whole lot done. And yeah, just wonderful showing from Fnatic, recognizing what they needed in this game and how to do it. And when you're going with one team that's supposed